Hello everybody and welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Dogbite and today I have something super special for you guys. Today, literally as I'm recording this the same day, I got a package in the mail. In fact, I got two packages. And they are from Wizards of the Coast, who make Magic the Gathering. And as you can see, the first one I got was the Secret Lair X Monty Python drop. And the other Secret Lair Monty Python drop was the second one I got, because I got volume 1 and 2. Now, these sold out within an hour of them coming out, or something like that. And I am so stoked that I managed to get my hands on not just any of them, but both of them as well. Now, you might have noticed I said 2 packages came. These came in 1 package. The other package was me accidentally ordering another volume 2. So what happened, basically, is this is the first time I've actually gone to a drop as it literally dropped. And this was, of course, part of the Inside an Elevator drop that they did. I think it was the 9th of August? No, July? I'm not sure. It was a Monday. So, yeah, I went onto the website. I was like, yes, it is at 9 AM PST, which is 4 PM GMT. Cool. I'd just be on there at 4 PM. I finished work at 4, bang, on the website, sorted, get it done. Cool. I set reminders, I set timers, I made sure I was there for it, and then I realised that we are in British summertime, which is an hour ahead, so it was at 5 o'clock, not 4 o'clock. Then, at 5 o'clock, when it actually dropped, I put one of each volume into my basket. And then I went to check out, and then I waited for an hour and something like that for a queue, hour and 10 minutes, something, in an online queue, so that I could actually check out. And when I got to the checkout, there were 2 volume 2s in my basket. So I was like, oh shit, this is going to be rough. I should cancel this and then go back and see if I can get both. And then I thought, wait, what if I can't even get the second one? So I'll remove one and order just one volume 2. And then I'll go back and order volume 1 on its own, thinking that I'd have to wait in a queue again. Turns out I didn't. So I put in that order, and then I got the order for both of them in at the same time, with the intentions of cancelling my other order and getting my money back. And then I saw that they were all sold out. And I'm not a scalper, I'm not gonna, like, you know, overcharge someone hundreds of pounds or anything for it. But I'm gonna keep hold of the other volume 2, because they're all foil versions. I'm gonna keep hold of the other volume 2, I'm just not even gonna open it, and I'm just gonna, you know, sit on it until someone wants it or something like that. Or find a way of getting, not rid of it, but, like, maybe I'll find a use for the cards that are in it, I don't know. Anyway. So, in case you haven't noticed or guessed from the thumbnail, today I'm going to be opening Secret Lair Drop Series with Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Volumes 1 and 2, I've got the traditional foil editions. So, we are going to start, obviously, with Volume 1, and I'm going to get right into it. So, I know that what is in these is not a secret or anything like that. Like, it gets shown, obviously, not just on the website, but online, on articles when people are talking about it in videos and stuff. So I know that you probably already know what's in here, and if you don't, then cool, you get to find out with me. I mean, I already know, but you get to find out with me opening it and already knowing, I guess. So let's pop this open. By the way, I don't know if this is a regular thing for stuff where it's like X Monty Python or X whatever, but these are in black envelopes, whereas the other Secret Lair drops that I have the envelopes here, are obviously in white envelopes, and this was for the Deceptive Divination, and also the Hard-Boiled Thrillers ones, they were both in white envelopes. So, I've pulled that and unfortunately ripped it a little bit here, but there we go. On second thought, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place. And then, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I said that the right amount of times. It's 5. That's a lovely little thank you card. I've still got the ones from my other Secret Lair, actually. And there is the cards. As you can see, there's nothing else in there. but let's get right down to it. This is cool already. Oh, I forgot to actually double check that I have sleeves to put these in, because obviously with them being expensive and foil, I should probably sleeve them. I do have sleeves. It's a random assortment collection that I have. Alright, so this drop has plenty of wild choices, like as you're going to see them, but obviously if you want to wear, Secret Lair tends to be reskins of cards. So for example, in Deceptive Divination there was stuff like what's it called? Oh my gosh. Wall of Omens, there was something Symmetry. I can't remember the name of that card for the life of me, and I have it in a deck. There was also... Basically, there was a bunch of cards. I can't remember the names of any of them. It's insane. I don't know why. But Wall of Omens I remember because it looks like it says Wall of Otters. Anyway, those are special arts, and, you know, you can't get them, you know, from packs or anything like that, apart from the Secret Lair drops, and obviously they're limited edition as well. So yeah, it tends to be either magic cards that look different and have special art, or it will be like in this set, magic cards that instead of just looking different, they give them different names and stuff like that, even though it's already a pre-existing card. So you'll see on this card, the first one, we have Tim the Enchanter. Tim the Enchanter is actually a prodigal sorcerer, as you can see here, in the underbox on its name. And prodigal sorcerer has tap and it deals 1 damage to any target. But obviously they've changed it, so Tim the Enchanter, he is a creature, human wizard, and Tim the Enchanter deals 1 damage to any target when you tap him. And obviously there's a lot of references to the film. By the way, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I will say it now and I will say it again probably multiple times in this video. If you have not seen it, go and watch it. It is great. It's currently on Netflix, available in the UK. I don't know if it's available anywhere else. I think it is available around the EU in general. I don't know about America, but it's a brilliant film. Monty Python, again, brilliant comedy like group. So yeah. First up, we've got Tim the Enchanter. And he's a creature, human wizard, he's a 1/1, taps, deals 1 damage to any target, and there are those who... Oh, sorry, there are some who call me Tim. Cool. And then next, oh, this has got to be from my favourite scene in the entire film, I'm gonna be honest. It's Bring Out Your Dead, or Buried Alive, depending on, you know, what you fancy, but in that scene he more or less does end up buried alive. Search your library for up to 3 creature cards and put them onto your graveyard, and then put them into your graveyard and then shuffle, which is pretty cool. Again, one of my favourite scenes. I'm getting better. No, you're not. You'll be stone dead in a moment. It's so good. It is obviously based on the story of King Arthur and the Knights of Camelot, and they go to find the Holy Grail. I say obviously, but unless you've seen it, it's not really obvious. They go to find the Holy Grail. They have trials and tribulations with rabbits and the French and all sorts of different things. And you'll have seen the memes from it as well, just like this one, which is the next card, which is Dismember, which, funnily enough, I packed a special special guest Dismember from... I want to say in Bloomberg, but it wasn't Bloomberg. I think it was Modern Horizons, I think. And yes, Dismember has been rebranded into Tis But a Scratch. And target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. It's an instant. A scratch, your arm's off. Obviously, one of the funniest scenes as well as Bring Out Your Dead is my favourite. And the Black Knight and Arthur's fight with the Black Knight tends to be like the most memed one. I think it's the one that people know the most. And oh my gosh, is this actually double-sided? It is. Okay, so I heard rumors of this, and I wasn't sure if it actually was double-sided. None of the other cards are, but this one is. And this is a Birds of Paradise, which everybody knows what a BOP does, or a BOP, or a Birds of Paradise. It taps, it has 1 mana of any colour. It's a 0/1 for 1 green. It's a pretty decent card, pretty good mana dork, because it just gives you a lot of versatility for literally 1 mana. Now, this is, again, if you've not seen the film, go and watch it. It's a running joke in the film. I'll put the others down for now. But there is a running joke of asking what I believe it's the average velocity of a swallow as it flies south or something like that. And somehow it ends up carrying a coconut, and it ends up being the African swallow or the European swallow, and it depends on where it's holding it, stuff like that. And all of them have different answers, and it just becomes this running thing. And of course, they turned the Birds of Paradise into the African swallow. It's flying, tap, add 1 mana of any colour. It's not a question of where he grips it, talking about the coconut, and on the other side, it is the European swallow, saying it's a simple it's a simple question of weight ratios. Both of these are obviously the same card, but it being double-sided kinda, I like it because it means that you just get to pick whichever one you want, but obviously it would be cool if you were gonna, because this is more like gonna go in a commander deck if anything, right? But like, if you were gonna play this in, I don't know, not modern, but and obviously not standard either, but just some sort of limited construction play where it's like 60 card decks rather, and stuff like that. Having a couple of these would be pretty cool, so that you could have them both on the same on the table at the same time. But yeah, that is pretty brilliant, and I do like that very much. It's all just some dumb jokes. Some of them are dumb jokes. Some of them are absolutely brilliant, and I mean brilliant. Once again, I love that film. I love Monty Python, and I love John Cleese. Especially, he's got to be one of my favourite members, and that probably started from Fawlty Towers, which is a British TV show. There are only 2 seasons of it, I think. I've got them both on DVD. About a hotel manager, and it was like a sitcom sort of thing. And it was all British comedy. It's so brilliant and it's so clever, and I used to sit on the floor when I was a kid watching it in the room, like in the living room with my parents, and I would be absolutely howling with laughter. Honestly, brilliant. And here we go with We Want a Shrubbery. And of course it's 3 visits because there's 3 of them. And this is, of course, a reference to the Knights Who Say Ni, and one that looks nice and not too expensive. And of course, you search your library for a forest card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle, which is the only card really where Bringers of Shrubbery would apply. As you can see, I have 2 cards left. This one is the Catapult. Pretty brilliant. I like this. Sacrifice a creature, catapult deals 1 damage to any target. Fetches Lavache. I believe that's supposed to be French. It's Goblin Bombardment. It's a pretty cool enchantment. That would go pretty well in a deck, actually. A tokens deck specifically. And obviously Bloomburrow just came out as well, so tokens deck galore. And my tokens deck is also a Naya deck, which is green, white, and red. So I would be able to actually put that in my deck if I wanted to. I know that I did a video talking about what is in my decks and stuff like that. That video has since been out of date. It was out of date after MagicCon, actually, because I changed my decks a lot there. But yeah, the thing about that deck video is, like, the general decks are still the same, like, they still do the same thing. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because my tokens deck I am going to do a lot of work on to make it a bit more powerful, purely because it was really powerful, it was really fast, and then I changed like 1 card in it, and for some reason it just seemed to stop working. And then, I changed a couple of other cards and stuff like that. I've never undone any of the things that I made that seemed to make it weaker, but any of the changes I made, that seemed to make it weaker. But yeah, for some reason, I don't think it would actually do anything if I did that. So yeah, that was Volume 1 of Monty Python and the Holy Grail Secret Lair Drop. So, here we are with one of my mistakenly ordered two second volume Secret Lair drops for Monty Python. I don't really know if there's any difference in something that I haven't explained, actually, so I'm kind of going off the rails here. This is all a bit fast. Like, I learned today that they'd been delivered while I was at work, and I just got home, I got in the shower, I was like, okay, straight out, film. I need to get this, recorded because I'm super excited. I'm just that, like, giddy about it. It's in exactly the same envelope, basically, apart from it saying Volume 2, and on the inside it says, well, she turned me into a newt. And newt, I got better. Which, again, a good a good reference from the film. And this time we have a different card. It's a nice archway card. I wonder if people actually collect these things, because, like, obviously that's two different ones. But when I got my Deceptive Divination ones, they were both the same, and I don't know if they are ever actually different, or if it's just random, or what. But, let's see. The Bridge of Death. Brilliant. That's going to be amazing. I love that scene as well. There was something about a secret card being added into this that isn't, like, listed, but it was given as, like, a special, like, extra, which is what I was kind of thinking about, because, again, in those other two Secret Lair drops that I got, there was an extra card in there that was it was like a treetop elf or something like that. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. But they were given as extras. And, yeah, they were both the same in that. And I don't know if it's commonplace for an extra card to be placed in Secret Lairs. I haven't ordered regular ones. I don't really do much research on it. I just saw ones that I wanted. I heard about the Monty Python ones, and I was just like, yep, gotta get them. Anyway, let's get on with the second part, or Volume 2 of this. First up, we have the Bridge of Death, which is actually a Door to Nothingness, which is a card that I've seen before, but never really found that I would have a use for. The Bridge of Death enters the battlefield tapped. It's an artifact. Costs 5 mana, and if you pay 10 mana, that's 2 of each colour, and then tap it, you sacrifice Bridge of Death in this case, and target player loses the game. It literally is just like, do you want me to kill you? I do have a 5-colour Eldrazi deck that isn't tuned at all. It's absolute jank. It's like a power level 0. And I guess it might go in that, but that's about it, really. It's the only thing I could personally think of that it would go in. And then here we have one that I think is going to be one of my favourites. It's Sir Bedivere's Scales. Or Ashnod's Altar, which I always thought was Ashnod. No, it's not, it's Ashnod. I've never owned the card before, so, don't blame me. Basically, Ashnod's Altar, if you sacrifice a creature, you add 2 colourless mana, which, again, would work really well in said Eldrazi deck, especially because I sort of built it to make some tokens, the Eldrazi, like, spawn tokens, the new version of Eldrazi Scions, anyway, whatever. And the flavor text, of course, is, so logically, if she weighs the same as a duck, she's made of wood, and therefore a witch. Which is one of my favourite scenes in the film, especially because of, like, knowing about it. Like, there's a part in that scene where one of the actors, I forget his name, I'm so sorry, he's biting onto his scythe because they're all dressed as peasants. He's like has to bite down on his scythe to stop himself from laughing, because John Cleese is doing such an amazing job of, like, delivering the jokes. And again, John Cleese, one of my favourite British comedic actors of all time, if not, like, my actual favourite. This is Castle of this is actually a land called Dark Depths. It's a legendary snowland as well. The fact that it's a snowland makes it special, I guess. But it enters the battlefield with 10 ice counters on it. You can pay 3 and remove an ice counter from Castle of And then when Castle of Ar has no ice counters on it, sacrifice it. If you do, create Marit Lage, a legendary 2020 black avatar creature token with flying and indestructible. And then it gives you a token of Marit Lage, which is the Black Beast of Ar. It has flying and indestructible 2020, of course, and it says run away, run away. And then here is that secret extra card I was talking about, and it is, of course, the Killer Rabbit of Kerbanog, which is a Kazendrix? I can't really read that, it's quite small writing. We have First Strike, it's a 4-4 for 4 mana, 2 and a black. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no creatures, Killer Rabbit of Carnivore deals 4 damage to you. Why would that be useful? I wonder. If I would lose life and opponent gains life? No, if I would lose life and opponent loses life instead, something like that, or I would gain life instead. That's the most foul, cruel, and bad-tempered rodent you ever set eyes on. Tim the Enchanter. And of course, there would be only one way of getting rid of that, which would be the Holy Hand Grenade, which they didn't put in this set, which means that that thing is basically unkillable now. Anyway, yes, this has been an amazing set. Well, an amazing drop. And I'm so looking forward to working these things into my decks. I've had a few ideas because obviously, you know, buying it is one thing, but actually using the cards is kind of important as well. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of pointless in buying them. And by using the cards, obviously, I do not mean like slapping them around and bending them and ripping them apart and stuff, as a lot of people seem to think using something means. I mean just actually using them, putting them in a deck and playing that deck. But yes, thank you very much for watching. And until the next time that I buy Magic stuff, or until the next time that I feel like making a little video like this opening something that I bought for myself, I will say thank you very much for watching. Go ahead, leave a like on this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments on what cards you think should have been in this set, in this drop rather. I keep calling it a set. What cards should have been in this drop? Things that maybe you might have changed or anything like that, or what you just liked about it in general. I'm a huge fan of these things, like especially because like just the way that it's put together. I just think it's amazing. Anyway. Yes, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content on Magic the Gathering, more content on video games and things like that. I do predominantly play video games, but Magic the Gathering every now and again, of course, is going to be on here. So, with that all being said, I've been Dogbite, and goodbye.